Hey, No Code Ops, Phil here, and today I'm joined by Mariano from Instadeq. Mariano, welcome to the Aha Moments demo show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Great to have you. Where are you calling in from today?
And Stuttgart and the south part of Germany near Switzerland.
Very cool, very cool. Well, great to have you all the way over the pond here in Atlanta, live.
Cool.
So tell me more about Instadeq. Just tell me, like, a little bit about the platform.
So yeah, Instadeq is a data analysis and visualization tool or platform. It grew out of experience doing data integration, data analysis, and visualization over the years with customers over the last 10 years. And we started like noticing patterns and building tools to make it easy for us to build and share visualizations on the projects we were working, and later to allow them to create their own visualizations or to make the changes they needed without having to require our assistance or the assistance of somebody with technical skills. So this is the fourth product we create in this area, and we hope it's the right one. We are really happy.
Awesome. Love some good iteration. Cool. So if you'd like to take over screen share and just walk us through an aha moment that a user would have in the product, specifically like a non-technical operations user, would love to kind of see you walk us through it.
Sure. So the idea of the tool is that you have some data somewhere. It may be a file, a CSV file, an Excel spreadsheet, data in a database, in an external system. And this data periodically renews. There's a new version. And you want to share this in a way that people can consume and understand and make decisions or have discussions or think with data. And so what we provide is an environment where people can visually interact with data and do the data manipulation once. And whenever there's new data, they can get everything updates instantly.
And what could these data sources be? Would these be like databases, Google Sheets,
exactly.
Airtable?
We support CSV files, Google Spreadsheets via plugin, Excel spreadsheets, any script that can make an HTTP request. We support also integration with relational databases. And here below, we support some streaming sources like Avely, Firebase, PubNub. We can even consume tables from Wikipedia if you want. They are not really stable, so they are cool for iterating and playing with data. But if you want to use them, maybe export them somewhere else. And so let's say you have a CSV file or an Excel spreadsheet, is the same. And so the idea is that you create a card of a given type. So here I will create a CSV file type. And you can load the data either by clicking here, you get a file picker, or you can, not the Zoom window, and you can drop the file and you can see visually the data here. And it will ask me if I want to store it in the channel. The idea of storing in a channel is that whenever somebody loads something that depends on this, the latest version will be available. So I store there. And you can visually see the data, it's a table. And the same representation is available with spreadsheets or almost any source. So now we want to do some calculation. Let's say we want to calculate, here I have some sales.
For the fields, sorry, for the fields, are you auto-detecting like any types, or are you just—
Yeah, we have an option to auto-detect data types. So it's enabled by default, but we also have something we call the magic wand that will detect extra formats. For example, if you have dates in different formats, it will detect them and create the logic to parse them and extract the fields you want. And so I want to calculate, for example, sales by country here. There's a card here called Group By, and you can drag like the amount column, and here you have a query. So select value group by key. So I say select amount, and it will calculate the sum by default. You can calculate many different types, but by default sum is okay. And we want to calculate it by country. So I drag the country column into the group by, and now it's calculating the sum of sales by country, and I have this output table. So now I may want to do a chart, and there's a long and a short way. I will do the short one. We have the magic wand icon over here and in many different places. So if I click it, and the card will tell me, look, with the output of this card, I can do the following things. And I can say, okay, I want to chart the amount sum column by country as an area map. And it will automatically create a new card with the area map, and it will assign some colors by default to the country.
Prior to this like visualization piece, you've essentially like made it like a no-code way to do a pivot table, essentially.
Exactly. We have pivots and pivot and others I will show later. So now it assigned the default color to the countries, but we may want to assign the color relative to the amount. So here I can click on the amount sum, and there's the magic wand again, and I can click it, and it will see which values there are, and it will propose some actions. And there's one called number to color in range, which is what we want. We want to assign a color according to the value compared to all the other countries. And it will create a new field over here with the formula, color for value amount sum from yellow to purple. And the range is from the minimum to the maximum. And I can open the settings of the chart, and I can say, I want to use the amount color as the color.
And it's getting darker and darker.
Yeah, and I may want a different default color for the countries that have no data, maybe lighter or some other color. Cool. And I can have other customizations, and I already have the first chart.
So basically, with that magic wand, you're basically making all these decisions that you were used to seeing customers make on their own, just easier and more templatized.
Exactly. The idea is that with time, we start identifying which tasks are either really common, really like annoying or repetitive, or they are like encoded knowledge from data analysts. Like they have some tricks, and we encode them into the tool. With time, we keep adding more tricks. And so that you can just, or just explore. When you're learning the tool and exploring the data, you don't know what to do, you say, okay, let's see what the tool suggests. And you go over and say, okay, I can do this. So I will go fast on another one. Let's say we want to see sales by year and quarter. We have the data here. I can either drag and drop as I did, or maybe you don't want to drag. So you can click here on the placeholder, and the tool will open and tell you which things you can put there. And I will select amount here. I will select the key placeholder, and I want the year and the quarter. So now what I'm doing is I'm calculating the sum by year and quarter, and I want to sort by year and then by quarter. So now the table is sorted in time, ascending.
Yep.
And again, I can select the magic wand. And now since the table has a different configuration, it has 2 group bys, it will propose different charts. So I want a stat chart, and it will create it. And now if I go to settings, I can say if I want to hide, for example, the legends, and if I want to change the margins. As I do the changes, the tool shows the results.
How do you share this? And can it be shared externally with people? Do they have to have a login? Talk to me about the sharing.
So let's say if I want to share only this chart, if this is enough, I click here on the share icon, and I give it an identifier. In this case, it has a default name, and I click share, and it generates a link. When I click the link, it will load. And I can share different access logic, like public, whoever has the link can access it. Authenticated users, whoever has an account. Password protected, like I give it a password, or I can give an access list. I can say only these people can access the chart. But if I want to share a dashboard,
I was going to say, like, what if you want multiple widgets within one page, so people don't have to have 30 links saved?
Exactly. So there's this card called the layout, and you can define different layouts for different resolutions, like a smartphone, a tablet, a laptop, a bigger screen, a TV, like a huge screen you will put on the wall. And you can define only layouts for one or 2 or 3. Like usually we do the biggest one and the smallest one. And instead it will pick the one that's not empty, that's closest to your current resolution. So if you open it in a smartphone, it will pick the closest one to a smartphone. And if you open it in a big screen, it will look for that one. And here you just say, okay, I want to put this chart over here, and I want to put this chart over here. And now I can see like how it would look like. And when I'm happy, I can share it. And well, I can say now it's dark. sales.
And if I've hooked this up to a Google Sheet with your plugin, right?
Yeah.
And I change something within the Google Sheet, will it automatically update here?
Yes, I can show you that. So for example, now if let me put this over here and this over here. The tool is fully reactive. So whenever data changes, it recalculates, and that also applies to things that are shared. So here I have this dashboard, and I will drop another file here that has slightly different data. Let's say it's an update. And the tool will ask me if I want to save it. And notice that when I click save, this will update. So it changed. You see the colors, the yellows one there. And this applies not only to this environment, but to anything that's shared. Like also it updated this one. You can see that they have the same values. And so the idea is that you do these steps I did only once. You do the calculations, the aggregations, the sorting, the filtering, everything. And next week you get a new export from a tool, or somebody sends you updated sales figures. You just drop the file, you click save. Everybody that's looking at the tool. Yeah.
This is huge in operations, because constantly, there's parts of the organizations and ops that only want to provide CSVs for whatever reason. Maybe, they're very specific about where it's coming from, or, they only want to share certain parts of the data. And so ops is then left to visualize on their own. And so, they either dump it in Google Sheets and, do some light charting there, or so this I could see being so great for ops. Like, fine, only send us a CSV. That's fine. And we'll give our managers the Instadeq link to this dashboard, and like they can just watch it from there, and we'll manually upload it once a week. Big deal.
And the thing is that you can like start doing it manually. You get a CSV file, you do the dashboard, you say, do you like it? And if they keep like sending you an email every week with a new CSV, you can say, look, I will create a webhook, which is a unique URL.
Ah, nice.
And now if you do an HTTP request to this URL with a CSV, it will update. Don't send it to me. You just post it there.
Skip the human.
Yeah, you skip me, just automate it. Like if the tool automatically generates a CSV, just do an HTTP request, which anybody doing operations knows how to do. Any language or scripting or even the command line can do this. You just send a request to this URL with the CSV in the body, and it will automatically update. So you don't even have to do it manually. So, if you get it via an email, of course you can do it manually, but you can also automate it.
Dude, this is awesome. Such a cool tool. I think it'll go a long way for all the folks that don't even want to get involved with the heaviness of things like Looker and Tableau, and really provide some powerful communication capabilities to operators, because having the data is one thing, but telling a story with it's quite a different thing. And being able to communicate it effectively and as automatically as possible with ease of customization, I think is a big deal.
And by the way, you can also even share, like you said, communicating. You can even share this. Like you can click here and get a link to the notebook. And now people can go through your logic and see, okay, I see that they did this and they did that. And of course you can share it more like read only, so it looks nicer like this. So the idea is that you can either share like the process of you were playing with the data and thinking,
or the output.
Yeah, you can even like take notes. Also, you have what you see is what you get. You can embed like notes here.
Love it.
So you can explain like, look, what I'm doing here is I'm calculating this by that, and you can see here in this chart. We even use them ourselves in the example section. So we have this example section, and when you load them, they will explain you how to do something like this that you're seeing here. And it's an incident report Excel spreadsheet, and we explain you how to do all the steps to achieve this.
Oh, cool. I love that you can put the process and the charts on one page via that dashboard. I think that's awesome. Sweet. Well, how can people learn more about Instadeq?
You can go to instadeq.com, and that's our site. And if you want to contact me, I'm Wariano Gamma. It's a little bit different. I don't know if you can read it on Twitter. and happy to talk to anybody and do a demo and talk about their needs and explain in detail how they can use it for their particular needs.
Very cool. Well, Mariano, thanks so much. This was a blast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.